blessing me. Make a record and make moves, it keeps testing me. In my mind, you niggas keep stressing me. I gave the best of me to the best of me, so here's the rest of me. I gotta get my mind right. Yeah, I gotta get my mind right. Talking to the devil every day. This is my fight, my fight. I'm cooking, baby, be the salt in my life, my light. This sound is for the people that want that crank from the beefo. I got issues when it come to making beats though. I can only bounce the heat, spit the 1-2s like I'm 3-4. Different people counting up the revo. Should've asked the president who would he vote. I got things on my mind I can revoke. I got things on my mind I can revoke. Rappers talking free smoke. Ask them what they want from the people. Or the women in their life, what do she know? Treat them how you treat them, niggas need hoes. No apologies, niggas need growth. But understand, these are women first. We hope we don't make the same mistakes in the sequel. Baby heard your flow, said please go. What else do you need, bro? Baby put the blame on me. Yeah, most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Yeah, female artists out here spitting flames for free. Yeah, catching charges for you niggas HOE. Baby put the blame on me. Yeah, most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Yeah, female artists out here spitting flames for free. Catching charges for you niggas HOE. Baby put the blame on me. Yeah, most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Female artists out here spitting flames for free. Yeah, catching charges for you niggas HOE. Baby put the blame on me. Yeah, most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Yeah, female artists out here spitting flames for free. Catching charges for you niggas HOE. You spitting lame for free? Yeah, she did her thing for me. Listen to Dame off T. Yeah, she put that thing on me. Hold up, hey, she said you change for me. I make it bounce off the rip, but the tank's on E. Gotta get $1, but the change is free. Yeah, I want a daughter, but you can't proceed. Making music, baby mama drama ain't for me. Rappers got no family, calling themselves kings. Homies in the grave, man, if he could see how you treat a sister when she's with your team. Brought up like your father, so you can't foresee. Jump if you with me, let me move your feet. Got the village on a bounce, new rules, new street. Tell me how you felt when you heard the message had to come from me. D-A-M-E. I don't claim a chain, it's ain't for me. Got a problem with the liner, no Cardi B. They said you want good music, we charge monthly. You must think we stupid, we are our beats. Study on the game, ladies, bring that heat. Study on the game, ladies, bring that heat. Charge it to the lame, niggas just miss me. Look at how they came for you, can't you see? Who we gon' blame, baby, just blame me. Who we gon' blame, baby, just blame me. We got a problem in the game, shame it came from me. Bet you won't believe, but you can't unsee. Ladies, put your hands up, wait for me. Show these little boys how we play MCs. Show these little boys how we play MCs. Show these little boys how we play MCs. They might start tripping. Say something, they might start tripping. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. 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 Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Baby, put the blame on me. Most of the other rappers spitting lame for free. Female artists out here spitting flames for free. Catching charges for you niggas HOE. Baby, put the blame on me. Most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Female artists out here spitting flames for free. Catching charges for you niggas HOE. Baby, put the blame on me. Most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Female artists out here spitting flames for free. Catching charges for you niggas HOE. Baby, put the blame on me. Most of these other rappers spitting lame for free. Female artists out here spitting flames for free. Catching charges for you niggas HOE. Say something, they might start tripping. Say something, they might start tripping. Yeah. Say something, they might start tripping. Say something, they might start tripping. kind of heroes. I'm thinking back on when it go. We say black, but they selling gold. I'm making tracks, but not for hoes. I won't expect, not like soul now. We call it kingpin. Cook up this dope and keep the people spinning. That mood changer, that #1 banger. And you think we selling coke? Nah, not the same player. See, it's crack music. What you think we selling here? Living a fast life, and now we switching gears and here we gone. We looking good now. Trips to Italy, shows in Moscow. Mellow.
competition is fierce. Don't get A like the last kid. And if I'm telling the truth, then tell me why you mad then. Here's what I'm gonna do. Hold up, salute to the brand new dudes without their groups, scraping up their tunes. Don't know what to do, just keep it cool. Lethal, keep it clean when they're just like the food. We just like you, trying to make it to round two. Here's what I'm gonna do. Hold up, salute to the brand new dudes without their groups, scraping up their tunes. Don't know what to do, just keep it cool. Lethal, keep it clean when they're just like the food. We just like you, trying to make it to round two. Hold up, salute. like you. Tryna make it to round 2.
DameSmiff.
Yeah. Authenticity lives with me, I get busy, B. 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 Pick up the phone, nothing is wrong. Where have you been? Been in my zone, trying my own, crying alone. I ask myself the same questions every day. It seems like the devil is the one that comes out to play. When I look at my house. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy DameSmiff. We out here with another episode of Musician Talks. And so today's episode is actually a pretty cool one because we'll be breaking down and kind of analyzing a bit of how music videos will be made with AI and how that's going to really affect us as musicians. And of course, bridge the gap between fans, musicians, and investors like usual. So if you guys like conversations like this, make sure you hit the like button and also make sure you subscribe so you can catch my latest videos and streams, because I have a lot more series and more content and more things coming out, right? And more things that we're working on. So how are you guys feeling in the chat? How are you guys doing today? So it's 11 a.m. on the East Coast. If you guys are getting ready for what could be your lunch break or could be the start of your shift, let me know. And if you guys are at home chilling, I want to know that too. How many of you are going to be working out today? That's going to be a part of this channel as well. It's going to be figuring out how to help you guys stay fit and healthy. But on another note, like I said, we'll be talking about music videos and how AI is going to be changing everything for that, right? So when you think of your favorite music videos, like my favorite music videos, I don't know who directed them. It'd be actually kind of interesting if I'll probably do a late night live stream and figure out like my favorite music video directors and things like that. But I think my favorite music videos came from the ones that kind of told a bit of a story through the visuals, not necessarily like turning the video into a movie or anything like that, but I think just more so like, let me see, like Busta Rhymes in the Janet Jackson music video. That was really cool because it was visually stimulating. A lot of colors, a lot of stuff like lighting and stuff like that. Busta Rhymes actually has a lot of cool videos in that sense, but really for me, music videos don't have to be grounded in reality, I guess is my point. So when I consider like why I'm watching a music video, I never really sat down and thought about, well, why I actually enjoy a music video or why I dislike any music videos, right? So when I was a kid, we had videos from like System of a Down, Linkin Park, obviously like NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. So like, you know, lights and graphics and things like that were all crazy and cool. We had Slipknot and things like that. So it was like crazy wacky things in a music video, and then like super realistic music videos. We had the whole spectrum, right? So when I try to think about why I liked a video, I never really thought about the approach to it that was taken, or whether or not there was some kind of, I guess, agenda or direction that the producer or writer wanted, right? Because the usual, I guess, introduction for me is the sound, right? Because it's a song, it's a music video. But after that point, I think for me, it's kind of, I'm waiting to see what you want to show me. So I have no expectation. That's kind of what I think that's how I personally approach music videos. And there are some situations where people will approach a music video and try to look at it as like a structure, a template. It should function a certain way. It should look a way. It should evoke a certain feeling, and it should have a certain approach. And every time I try to make that same opinion, that rule gets broken again and again and again, right? So whereas I thought in the era of high definition, where everything needed to be crystal crisp and clear and things like that, and you needed the best camera, Snoop Dogg came out with the sensual seduction video. which was an emulation of like a VHS tape visually. Like, so there was a lot of things that worked for a lot of musicians that broke the conventional rules as far as what we would prefer as a music video, or ideally suggest in general for the industry standard of a music video, right? And then on top of that, you'll just get really weird videos, like, you know, the really creative stuff where you'll have Tyler the Creator, you'll have, like I said, Linkin Park had some really cool music videos. I'm trying to think of just off the top of my head, just random music videos, because there's so many, like from new artists to the older artists, just all the visuals and all the different kinds of music around the world, the things you could come up with for a music video, right? Like, a friend that I used to know was a crazy video. You know, like there's a lot of different ways you can look at a music video and try to value it, right? So when we consider that, what does it mean when we introduce artificial intelligence to the conversation? Do we apply what, at least in my approach personally, the same grace to our artificial intelligence? Meaning like, well, let's wait and see what it is that the artist wants to show me. Or should we consider other ramifications or circumstances? This is something that's going to be like kind of weird to figure out because, like I said in previous streams, a lot of the decisions you're seeing being made on behalf of musicians seem to be influenced by, you can say, technology and technology companies. So this isn't like oh, we just realized a bunch of colleges are graduating orchestral instrumentalists, so we need to make a shift in the industry. This isn't, oh, we're noticing a bunch of young toddler children becoming perfect pitch for no reason. Like, this is not no weird phenomenon like that. It's like a company came up with an idea and it's kind of shifting the market. So we need to make an adjustment, right? And that's been the case for a long time, but it's really a question of, okay, like I said, if we combine the amount of grace I give artists for having their creative freedom, how much of that should I give to, let's say, somebody who's not technically a musician, but can make music with artificial intelligence to create a music video, right? How much of the, I guess you can say, value I would place on somebody who can create a music video with AI, how much value can I place on that video compared to somebody who can get up and get out and do what, I guess, what you've seen happen with Sinners. Like, Sinners was such a highly intricate production that when most people consider getting up and doing that kind of work, they're not gonna, like, one, be able to wrap their minds around why that's important to do. But then on the other hand, they're not also going to be able to conceptualize it and make it like a tangible thing. So we're going to actually see how this works in terms of, like, yes, it's easier to make a music video with AI. Like, that's the obvious elephant in the room. But the little other baby elephants in the room is that, well, what happens if the people we really appreciate and know are the highly skilled, let's say, directors and writers and screenwriters and filmmakers and things like that, get their hands on this tech? How far can they push the envelope, and how far are we willing to kind of, like, I guess, watch this happen, you know, as far as like my approach to watching music videos in itself. So what I mean is this: if you loved Transformers for what it was, or Star Wars for what it was, let's say Harry Potter for what it was, what's another big one? Any movie that really transcended 2 or 3 generations, or even decades, really, what are we gonna really say when we give those same writers and producers, or same people with visions like that, the tools that we have now that can 10x, almost 300x, 1600x their efficiency and productivity, right? So let me just give you an example. Like, we're going to see some basic ideas today, but just think about where the mind takes you and then consider how far we've come from the originators of, let's say, Nickelodeons and making film, right? One idea was capturing reality right in front of you on film, right? And then now we have a thing where capturing what's inside your head before it's ever existed, right? So you can just type something in your head and then we'll just try to get some kind of emulation of what we think is in your head versus you actually being able to film, set up, orchestrate, and I guess you can say create reality, you know? So we're going to get into a lot of different clips today. Not really a lot, but a few different, I guess you can say, types of clips. And they're going to break down a bit of the importance of AI, the usefulness of AI, and then also just in general what a music video treatment is. So let's get into our first one, and it's going to actually break down a bit of how you can actually make a video using an AI engine.
Music video, e.g. taking a song and turning it into a music video. Now again, you can upload your own MP3 track. You can also pull from YouTube, from SoundCloud, or from a whole range of popular songs that we can see right here. So let's go with Abracadabra from Lady.
And also chat, let me know if you can hear everything fine too. So again, this is a video where we're going to be pretty much shown how you can make a music video from just, I guess you can say, uploading one of your songs, or honestly, like you said, using someone else's song to come up with a video idea, right? Now, a bunch of the conversation is going to be around who owns this stuff. And there's a conversation about right now I think it's called Tung, some kind of like AI generated meme character that is actually being litigated over who owns and who should get, I guess, copyright over its identity, I guess you could say, trademark and things like that. But the problem that they're running into is that it's already been like blown out of proportion. It's like in corporations and big games and big memes and things like that. And so people are trying to figure out, well, what happened and where did things go wrong, because they don't want to set really the wrong precedent for future situations like that, right? And like I said, if you compare that to back when, I guess you can say, hundreds of years ago in Asia, where they had to actually like stamp papers, where the papers were split into two pieces so that way you can actually keep track of where things were and stuff like that. We've gone so far, so fast, exponentially, that we have to actually think ahead of ourselves in order to protect ourselves. So this is going to be important to pay attention to, especially if you want to make music videos, because the new thing now, especially if you are signed up for Instagram or things like that, but if you're uploading your music videos, that means that your music video can be a part of the platform's AI algorithm that could be using your video for someone else to create from, right? So depending on how you view that and your creativity and how you value your art, it's going to be important to at least understand how the process works, right? So like you said, you upload one of your songs, someone else's song, or just, you know, maybe a stem or something like that, and it helps you create the visuals based on the prompt you put in combination with it.
Gaga. And then I'm going to go ahead and expand this to the first 2.5 minutes of the song. Let's go ahead and click confirm.
So he's using Abracadabra by Lady Gaga.
You can upload your own MP3 track. You can also pull from YouTube, from SoundCloud, or from a whole range of popular songs that we can see right here. So let's go with Abracadabra from Lady Gaga. And then I'm going to go ahead and expand this to the first 2.5 minutes of the song. Let's go ahead and click confirm.
So one thing I do want to point out, I'm sorry I keep pausing it, but the popular song thing, that like vault of music that he was just scrubbing right there, that's music that's actually licensed out to these companies. So these record labels are probably, you know, licensing out their music to be used in this way, and he probably pays, I see he has like 2,690 credits in the corner in the top right. So he's paying money to essentially be able to do this process to the company here, and the company licenses out songs so he can get cooler music to be able to do that, right? So that's how record labels and artists make money in general from AI, and how we
essentially navigate this as songwriters is that we have metadata that is embedded into the music that we upload. So like the fact that it says Abracadabra Lady Gaga is one thing, but it has maybe the beats per minute, it has the key signature, it also has maybe the mood and other things that would describe the characteristics of the song itself, right? So being able to do that allows him to make money because he's going to be able to create himself a whole nother music video or probably a song with the money that he pays this AI company here, right? So the important part that we should be paying attention to is not that today, but that is something to be looking at as we watch these videos, because a lot of people are going to think that he's stealing or he's bootlegging or something like that. No, this is actually completely fair as far as someone is allowing this to happen. Okay, it's not like he's just going in there doing something nefarious.
We've chosen our song. Now we can talk to the AI. You can describe the exact visuals that you want. If you have a vision in mind, if it's your own MP3 track and you want to bring your own song and music to life, this is how you do it. Just write an extremely descriptive prompt. The more the better. We're not going to do that. We're just going to let the AI come up with whatever it wants. And there is a borderline infinite range of styles the AI or you can go with. If we click under character, we can see some of the preset consistent characters it can use. You can also upload your own if you want to.
Okay, that's crazy too. Even if you look at the characters that he has there, the characters look like licensed people as well. Well, maybe not this row here. Oh yeah, there's Pikachu right there, and there's Mario. Yeah, there's the panda, Kung Fu Panda. There's Ariel. You know, so just keep that in mind. Like as we go forward, when I started this conversation, I was saying, what would we feel like and how would we think about this AI situation when the corporations and I guess you could say writers and directors and icons and intellectual property holders start using these same tools alongside us, right? Because you'll see a situation where somebody will upload a dance on TikTok and then be mad that it's in Fortnite. But if you upload an AI generated image and you quote unquote technically don't own it and it winds up in Fortnite because it gets really popular, I don't know how that really works for you as well, right? So
it can use. You can also upload your own if you want to. For aspect ratio, we're going to stick with 16:9. We're going to go to 1080 full resolution. Now for style, again, this is all just how much do you want to customize it or what's your own vision.
You can even see some of the art styles here. So you have the sound, the visuals, and the actual style of the visuals, and that looks like it's licensed. Like if you drew anime a certain way, or the quote unquote Pixar style that you see people turning themselves into and stuff like that, who owns that? Like who actually gets credit for that after the fact when you've created whatever you created and tried to use it, let's say on your website or on your social media platform, and you're making money, you know?
For this, let's go photorealistic. Let's see how good the AI can do. Now for captions, if you've used a tool like Opus, you'll recognize a lot of these. These are all the very popular subtitles that you see on social media. I don't want that in this case, so I'll leave it off. We're also gonna switch from fast to expert mode, and then let's go ahead and click create. We'll click continue. Now we can see all the steps here that is going to go.
Okay, so I'm assuming, and if I were to just think from the tinkering of AI that I've done, and I've only done like probably a novice amount of tinkering, the fast to expert mode seems to be the difference between skipping a bunch of these steps here, where it's going to reference probably more images. It's probably going to make, I guess you can say, finer lines and finer edits to the image and things like that. Maybe do more layering with the lighting and things like that. That's, I guess, the difference between getting an odd number of fingers on your character, or maybe their like eyes don't line up or something like that, versus it actually going back and double checking those things and making sure it actually looks like a complete realistic looking image or realistic sounding song or something like that.
With if you turn on auto mode, then the agent or the AI will do all of it for you. In this case, just to show you what the process is here, we are not going to do that. But again, you can skip all of that if you want to. I also want to point out the 3 tabs here. We can see the canvas, which is a more visual way of seeing all the steps that the agent will go through. Then we have the editor, which once you have visuals will make more sense, and then results. Now, if we also click under thought here, we can see exactly what's being worked on. So it analyzed the song, it mapped out the music, and then this is the analysis. It did a whole, segment analysis, music identity. There is a lot here, which, especially if it's your own music, I think will be really interesting to you.
So that's actually something else we can point out here too, is that this metadata that it comes up with the song, I believe we talked about this before, is the thing you're going to be competing with as a non-AI musician or as another musician who uses AI. If you can get more metadata, I guess you can say, if you can get a lot of accurate metadata, I'll say it that way, you can really compete when it comes to these. I guess you could say, like, if this guy wanted to make a YouTube video and he just jumped on another AI engine and paid 2,000 credits and just wanted to just search for some music, you are highly competitive if you have more metadata that is accurate and actually provides more direct information for what this particular person is looking for than you would just having a song that's just hip hop, pop, R&B, jazz, alternative rock. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see how much more nuanced you can get. The other side of it is that this also, in my opinion, if I were to just look at this on a glass half full perspective, this opens the door for nuance. This means that there's probably somebody who's already jumped on this and they're probably like super specific with their data and then putting value into that lane and then finding ways to just, add value to that lane in other ways. So that can be like, you can do a lot of identity. You can do like, what you are, who you are, where you're from, and then you can do the approach to the music, and then and that would mean like what instruments you're using, what equipment you're using, or whether or not you're using a certain style of approach. So whether it's a jazz style or maybe a heavy metal style. And then you can also do things like it says here, the mood, emotion, musical character, and again, the instruments, and then the key rhythmic moments. That's actually a good point there. So that can be like constant drum groove, vocal phrase endings, probably like samples and loops and stuff like that. That's pretty interesting. So yeah, all of these different things, if you can think of how you can treat your songs as like these little nuggets of massive amounts of quote unquote data, this makes you more competitive when you're compared to, let's say, the other songs that are out there that, as you can see, are auto generating this exact same information on their music quickly, very quickly.
In our case, let's go ahead and say continue, and that this looks good to me. Now we're on to style. Okay, it selected Gothic realism as the primary style, which will be fun to watch. Let's go ahead and say continue. Then ironically, I think that is a good fit. And now that I think about it, that is a pretty good fit for that song specifically. Okay, now we can see the creative concept that's generated here. So
it comes up with a creative concept, and it's essentially just going to explain to you what it is that it's going to be showing you with the music video, just in a nutshell, basically.
This is where we start to see the visual direction for the music video. In this case, we have a brutalist forge with a lone practitioner transmuting the raw elemental grief, which he or she feels, into a pulsating liquid chrome relic as a dark moon rises.
So even in its explanation, like, let's just sit and think about what we just read just now. What we just read makes very little sense, but you can generally imagine what you think you're going to see, right? Because when it says they're transmuting raw elemental grief, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, think about why this is important to point out, right? Let's not just slide past this. This is important to point out because if you were talking to a human, you would have to convey what that means. And so for this AI, if you don't know what they mean by transmit or elemental grief, which we're going to eventually see whatever that is, you're going to be in some kind of confusion. You're going to be in dissonance with your team, and especially your visual team. So like, I can give you, like I said, just because it's kind of vague, you can generally imagine what it is as a creative, but I can give you an idea of what I think that would mean. Like, they're in a forge and they're going to imagine possibly Lady Gaga wearing some like metallic industrial gothic forge outfit or something like that, fit for a girl who's going to be a superstar musician, right? But she's going to be transmuting, which is probably going to be an orb of light or an amoeba of light that looks like metal or something like that, and she can't hold it. And then it's going to be like something that either flashes brightly and she becomes happy or joyous or something like that, or she becomes like confident or something like that. That's what I think is going to happen. But the only reason I'm saying that, because it's super vague. How would you pull this off in a music video, right? How would you practically pull this off? And that's why AI solved that problem for a lot of musicians. Just think about, remember what the Suno AI creator said. He didn't like the creative process. So solving that problem of like, how do you make this elemental grief come to life on the camera for the audience? How do you pull that off? Answering that question he didn't enjoy, so he solved it with, I guess you can say, applying AI to the situation. So let's see what he actually comes up with.
A pretty creative storyline there. And again, you can start to see basically the same steps here a human would go through. Of you have a rough concept, you get to a storyline, and after this, we start to actually create the visuals. But this is just the story with all the different shots planned out, which then gets turned into those individual clips to form this multi-minute video. That looks good to me. Let's click continue. Now here we can see that overall storyline was translated into specifically 10 scenes, each with a description, a style, lighting, atmosphere, narrative.
That's crazy. So, all right, think about this. You want to write a music video. Could you write a treatment of 10 scenes? How quickly could you do that? Like, forget, could you do it? I believe you already could do it. If you're watching this, you probably could do it. You're smart enough to write an essay for school. You're smart enough to log into YouTube. You can probably, write out 10 scenes eventually, right? But the thing is that it just burst that out in probably about 10 minutes or less, right? And again, this is just him giving a tutorial. Put this in the hands of somebody who has either built one of these engines, or put this in the hands of somebody alongside a legendary writer or somebody who makes treatments for a living in collaboration with somebody who builds these engines. And you are in for possibly what could be a really, really, really amazing situation, or a really, really messy precedent that may be set because of the value that would be placed on such a creation. Because I don't know if Disney and them are in their studios creating a bunch of stuff and just not releasing it yet. Like, I don't know, but that would be very possible, because they just don't know how the market's going to respond if they just dump out 3,000 blockbuster film looking AI movies, 2 hours long each, and the kids can't tell the difference. And then, you just got to play catch up with their streaming service, because they don't really need to house any more storage outside of what they pay for, So I don't know how that's really going to work, but I can see why you would be very careful with who you collaborate with, because ownership is going to be crazy, crazy messy.
Function, transition, etc. So this is the literal plan that now we're going to translate into visuals. Let's hit continue. And now here we can see that 79 images or shots are being generated for this, and we are 55 through. Okay, our
So, and then also there are 79 images that were used for this. So as a photographer, a lot of photographers care about the credit of, their photos. Who gets credit for those images? Does this guy get credit for this music video process and this approach? I don't know. Is this just for the engine? Is this Lady Gaga's work?
79 storyboard frames are done, and what a beauty this is. I mean, just look at the scale of the visuals here. Really just fun to see. And again, this is the default mode, so it's much more performance oriented versus the more abstract or the more cohesive story arc that we'll get into in some of the other features and demos. So this looks awesome to me. I'm excited to see the video. Let's click continue. Okay, the final video is done. We had about 60 videos was generated from the images or the
60.
shots. Now we are gonna have to replace this with no copyright music. This is a Lady Gaga track. So I'll play that over it. This is the actual Abracadabra song, and let's watch the first 30 seconds.
Okay, so before he plays, he made the point to say that, you know, it is a copyrighted song. Like I said, they license it out and things like that, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is that the video we're about to watch was pulled off with pixels. None of it is real. So you got to think about like all the people right now that have cameras, that are using film, studios that have props, like things like that. You want to hire an actor, an actress, and things like that. Like people are considering like, oh man, all this is like gonna be replaced by AI. But I want you to think about this. If you don't know how any of that works, how will you tell the AI to utilize it properly, right? So let's see what we see in front of us, and just think that this is a tutorial. So if you put this in the hands of somebody that does know how to handle props, actors, film, and things like that, then we will probably see things that we either cannot tell are AI or would probably appreciate even though they are AI.
Together. So very cool abstract theme there with some pretty epic.
And you can see I was generally getting kind of close to the whole elemental grief thing. It was just cold ice just kind of floating on a table that just kind of splashed ice everywhere, and then they just kept touching it and pinging it. But you've seen little things like walking from one room to the next had to be sped up so the AI system couldn't imagine what that would be like. So it hallucinated. It just kind of just fast forward everything, right? Generally, music directors wouldn't do that, right? Unless it's just their style. But that's not something that he requested. So that's what I mean by like, you're going to be either running the bag up with these credits, because his credits went up now. He's at 3,200 now. You're going to be running the bag up with these credits, trying to make corrections because you don't know what the thing is in your head to be able to turn it into reality. Or you're going to have situations like that where we're all going to just be like, oh, that's AI. That's immediately AI, which is going to either mean you do or don't understand how to use AI tastefully in a way to where we are watching the film and not trying to dismantle it for what and how you made the film.
Visuals, it is synced pretty well to the music as well. You would have to actually be able to hear it. You could try that out yourself to hear that. So that is the whole flow and doing it manually. But next, what if you want an actual story that is told cohesively through your music video? You can do that too, and you can do it without having to manually prompt every shot. So let's jump into demo number 2. And for this, I want to customize it more. So what we're going to do, I found this copyright free. This is a YouTube video song with lyrics. Let's listen to this for a second. Now what I did here, I went to suno.com. This is an AI music maker. Let's listen to one of these for a few seconds. So that's the song we're going to use. I'm going to go ahead and copy the link. Let's jump back into here. I will paste that Suno link. So this is going to be full AI end-to-end song and music video for this demo. So it is pulling the rhythm and the lyrics from here. And then let's go find a character. So let's search this dude. Let's take that image. You can upload a video of yourself if it's your own music. And then once this is done, we'll go ahead and upload that character. Okay, for this, we'll select 30 seconds. And let's move to a portion with more lyrics. Let's click confirm. Now under character, right here, I'm gonna click upload. So now we have our guy. Let's click continue. Now under style, what I'm going to do is select cyberpunk. We'll keep this to 1080. Let's go vertical, so 9:16. And we'll keep this on fast, and then we're going to turn on auto. So all steps are automatically going to be accepted and gone through by the AI itself. Now we'll click continue. And with storytelling mode, again, there will be more of a actual cohesive story told throughout this video.
So apparently, and I wanted that to play through completely for a reason. I wanted you to see how quickly it can go through when you see somebody who basically knows what they're doing with the program and can just quickly snap through all the options and things like that, right? So that can be like a toddler playing with a tablet. That can be, you know, an adult who's on a PC and things like that. Once you get somebody understanding the system, you see how fast they move, right? The other problem that we're going to see that we're running into is collaboration, right? Imagine you're doing this with a group of people in the room, right? Trying to create literally a song, right? But then the thing that he's showing a tutorial, but the thing that he could showcase too is that the storytelling aspect of this, I don't know if it's more so the prompt that it's looking for, or if it just is going to create a story for you, but storytelling in itself is a skill. So if he had exemplary storytelling skills, that would shine in this situation, right? And so that's what I mean by being able to appreciate, let's say, a music video just for what it is a completely different conversation than looking at a music video like what he's about to generate because of what it is.
Select the first 30 seconds once more. I'll click confirm. We'll leave it blank. Let's go back to 16:9. For style, let's go for sketch. We'll go a lot more abstract for this. Also, I saw Lego in there. That's a fun one right there. I'll have to play around with that. And we will leave this one on 7.
It has Lego in there. Like, these are all licensed out styles that are going to be used in your creative idea.
20p, so it's a bit faster. We have auto on, we're on expert mode. I'll click create. Okay, so we can see in the editor track, this is done as well. I didn't show you this last time, but you can play around with all of the actual clips here. Let's go ahead to results and give this a watch for a few seconds. Now, what I also want you to pay attention to right here is the lip sync. If we jump back, just listen to this few seconds and look at the lips. So that's the kind of accurate lip sync you can get. If you want it, you just prompt it and you will get that. Let's watch.
And the lip sync is, if you were really like paying attention to the lip sync, if you really pay attention, it's kind of guessing. It's looking for vowels. Like it's just looking for vowels and like probably the start of consonants, you know, T's, K's, B's, and after that it just looks for vowels. And so the fact that there was a moment in whatever this track created that had a long vowel like that, it took that opportunity. Because you're not going to see it just start lip syncing a conversation, just like it's not going to take Tech 9 and just start doing that. You're not going to see that.
Watch it one more time. And so we can see
we may at a point, but not now.
Much more of a story is told there, and we can go check the creative brief if we want to understand what the storyline is or what's being told. Now for demo number 3 here, what I want to do is the abstract music video mode. So the default mode is focused around your performances or your individual, very visual videos. Storytelling has a cohesive narrative or story arc, and abstract is exactly like it sounds. This will be best for music videos which have no vocals in the song, rather just instrumentals. Let's go ahead and click add music. So we're here on SoundCloud with some no copyright lo-fi. Let's go ahead and click share on.
He's on SoundCloud taking a song to be able to use the video, right? But I just want you to see that it's a thing that not only is it just, oh, I want to make a music video with an AI person, an AI artist or something like that, but just think about background music. You're walking through the mall, that could be AI music. You're driving down the street or you're walking down the street and you hear someone driving, they could be listening to AI music. The jingles you hear in commercials now could be AI music. Like there's a lot of reasons and ways that you can implement AI music into like just the world, right? So being able to just pull music like this, lo-fi, and then like you said, find an abstract music video with no lyrics or something like that. If you enjoy how it sounds, it's very possible you're just going to just enjoy how it sounds. You're not going to be like, oh, it's AI and turn it off, right? But the problem that we're going to have as artists is, what's the point of trying to market to somebody that likes AI music with music that is not built with AI, right? And the point would be, in my opinion, exclusivity, and also the ability to consistently create something that is exclusive, right? AI is not going to be able to, I guess you can say, replicate without, I guess you can say, becoming monotonous, But being able to have like a style, like a rapper style, or maybe a style of guitar playing or something like that, it's not going to be able to do that without the actual driver, the person who's engineering the prompt or using the engine, is as the one that can actually do that as well.
On this track, I've copied the URL, we'll jump back, I'll paste that link, click enter, and so now it's going to directly pull the instrumentals from that SoundCloud link. Okay, it is working through all these steps fully on its own. Okay, let's give this a watch. It's very abstract. This honestly might be my favorite of the three.
Yeah, and it's easy to watch. It's easy to consume. You don't really have to think. You really are just listening to the song, and the visuals are kind of just there, right? So it gives pretty much the AI, in my opinion, free reign to just hallucinate and do whatever it wants, because you're not considering, you know, it being grounded in anything like a human on the screen or a plant or an animal on the screen or, you know, anything like that. If you just, like, you seen like the giant cyborg robot walk up there and just punch a bunch of fire out of its fist, it's like no one's ever gonna question that, because what's the point? Is, you know, it's not real, you know.
Love some of the transitions that we get, especially in that shot right there. So those are the three core.
So I actually think that's a pretty cool thing. Most people are gonna look at that and be like, man, this is horrible. Oh, they're still in our dwabs and stuff like that, right? But the problem you're facing when it comes to that is that you're probably a musician that has been bound to a genre, or maybe you've been bound to, let's say, the general branding of a musician, and you don't have any like personal equity within the music industry. And that's what I mean by exclusivity being the, I guess you can say, value point many musicians and artists are going to face when they're dealing with something like music videos built by robots and, you know, some kid who went to engineering class and stuff like that. Because most of the things that you're going to learn as a musician, you have to learn as a musician, right? You're not going to be able to experience the crowd booing you until the crowd boos you. So you're going to see a lot of these viral, I guess you can say, AI artists come out and then eventually get booed, and then they're going to have that conversation with themselves about what they're really doing and what they're getting booed for, right? And make a difference. Otherwise, they're just going to quit, which we see a lot of times as well. So let's get into the next music video here, where we actually break down music video treatments in the conventional sense and try to break down or really bridge the gap between what we just learned and what we always have known about music videos.
Treatments! What's up, guys? Jacob Owens here for the Buff Nerds, and today I'm going to talk to you about how to create a music video treatment. So if you don't know what a music video treatment is, that's okay. I'm gonna tell you in this video, and if you know what a music video treatment is, I'm gonna tell you in this video how to make the best one possible. So if you're a music video director, you know all about music video treatments. Music video treatments are the essential first step in pre-production to basically developing the idea of a music video. The goal of a music video is to formulate a document or a treatment of how the video is gonna look and what it's going to be about. So if you're working with artists, they're gonna wanna see a treatment sometimes, not all the time, of how their video is going to look or be, or what it's going to be about. And the other times there's labels, music labels, that reach out to directors and ask for video treatments that they will pitch to that artist or that artist management or the label they're with, etc. Common mistake I see with other people's treatments or people that are writing treatments is they're too word heavy. Treatments are supposed to be very visual. You want the artist and the person that you're pitching to get a visual idea of the idea you have for their video. So you want it to be very picture and visual heavy to get your ideas across, so they're like, oh, okay, that's how it's gonna look, that's how it's gonna be. A lot of times people get into the way too descriptive phase, and they're writing out beat by beat how the video is going to be, and it's like almost just like a novel. And video treatments, you want them to stand out and immediately let the artist or the person know what the video is going to look like.
So this is kind of what I guess we can say, what you can say feeds into the instant gratification of using AI. That's actually highly attractive, at least what he's saying, to artists, to be able to just quickly visualize the music video and then be able to produce, right? So let's say on a more reasonable aspect, right? Well, what we just seen with the AI system, right? Instead of making the actual music video, you make the music video treatment using AI. You see where we're getting at now? Now we can see, like, okay, maybe we can push our idea into the tangible world and then manipulate it, in real time, and then take the new treatment that we've just created out of our brain for no reason with the help of AI and try to make it real. Now, being able to pull that off seems like, for me, something I would like to see and exciting, right? But again, if you don't know what it is that he's explaining, like if you've never heard of a music video treatment, then there's a learning curve. There's a learning curve for what it is you're asking for, what it is you're trying to get the audience to receive and things like that, because you don't want to, I guess in my opinion, you don't want to actually pull off an idea that is just a great idea in your head. You want to find something that's going to be successful in the music industry and not necessarily just run amok, because that's when you start running into AI slop kind of conversations about people who are just throwing anything out just because it is funny, or it is a reaction, or it is wacky, or it is polarizing or controversial or traumatic or whatever it is, right? We can actually take actual direction with the agency that we have with AI. And so thinking about this in terms of using AI for treatments makes me think like, man, I can now take my ideas as an individual artist, come up with a treatment, and then be able to, like you said, kind of shop around and see what studios and production companies I can work with to actually try and pull this off, either in a realistic way or maybe a collaborative way where maybe we blend a little bit of CGI and graphics. I don't know how it would work, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you can try to actually get your idea out in a reasonable way, but without having to, like you said, use just your language in your brain all the time. You can actually get an image of something that you can probably 3D print or use actual claymation or something, or maybe paper mache or anything like that. I don't know what they use today for special effects, but you can probably get some version of this done. Silicone, I don't know.
And video treatments, you want them to stand out and immediately let the artist or the person know what the video is going to look like. If you get too wordy with your treatments, a lot of people are going to tune out or lose interest, and it's just not a good way to write a treatment. Keeping your wording short and being descriptive in as little words as possible while throwing as many visual references as possible is the best way, I feel, to write a music video treatment. So an example of how the treatment process works is this. I may have a production company or a label or a video commissioner reach out to me and be like, hey Jake, T-Pain wants to shoot a new music video. So you may work directly with an artist that just wants to see a treatment for their video, or you may be pitching treatments to different labels or artists. A lot of times I'll be contacted by either a label or some artist management or another production company or something, and they want me to submit a treatment for that artist and their song that they have. What they'll do is they'll send me the song, they'll send me the budget, and kind of maybe lay out a few details they have in mind for the video, or they may have none at all, and then I have to formulate a treatment based around that song, and I submit it with the hopes of they choose my idea, they choose my treatment, and they want me to direct the video.
Now, the only issue that you're going to have here with what he just said is that you're going to need to be a cultural fit. So with the, at least, I guess you can say, opinion that I had a second ago, where you can use the AI to create the treatment, in this situation, I wouldn't do that. In this situation, I would use the AI as a reference to create the treatment. it would go even lower into the totem pole, because I would want to show a little bit more creativity and nuance and things like that from the artistic side than the productive side, right? Just to be able to just get the treatment done is one thing, but I want to be able to work fast and then be great at it at the same time, right? So versus just making the actual treatment, the AI, or I'll break it down. Instead of AI making the music video, we won't do that. Instead of AI making the music video treatment, we won't do that. So now what we're going to do is we're in this particular example that he just showed, we would use AI to make reference, I guess you can say, photos, assets and things like that, and designs in order to make the music video treatment to then shop to the record labels and the artists and things like that. That's what I would do in this situation if you had to like hold my hands to using AI in this moment.
Again, there's no really right or wrong way to write a treatment. I've seen treatments that are 1 page long. I've seen treatments that are 8 pages long. I've seen treatments that look like PowerPoint slides. I've seen treatments that are very just picture heavy with very few words. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just telling you my advice and my best tips for writing a treatment with the experiences I've had in the music industry. With that being said, I hope I didn't leave anything out. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. If you found that this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know if it helped you guys. Let me know if there's anything else too, video-wise, you guys want to see, any type of content. Trying to help you guys out as much as possible and give you guys insight into the filmmaking industry. And this is one of those things that I think can be very beneficial to a lot of people. So now you guys
So I think that's a pretty cool thing that most people should understand first as they want to start making AI music videos, right? Because you're going to see, like I said, the top record labels, the top movie studios and film production companies and things like that using these systems and these tools alongside the TikTok filters and Snapchat filters. Like, there's levels to this game, right? So we want to be able to at least compete, but we want to be able to understand how to compete. And like I said, I would have ways to, I guess you can say, weave and sprinkle AI within the process, but I wouldn't just replace what it is that I do simply because of how people value AI today. We were just looking at, I think the last stream, how artificial intelligence engines and the music that it makes is being either banned or being shifted to a certain pool in order to be paid a certain amount compared to just music that is not using AI at all, right? So it can probably wind up the same situation when it comes to visual media as well. So let's get into our last clip here, and it's actually going to be something that we can break down, I guess you can say, together, but it's going to be another tutorial on how you can actually create an AI music video.
Here's how to create a realistic studio quality music video using AI.
My armor thin just for a look at you. Hold me like that.
So even like with what we're seeing here, this guy right here in this shot right here, do you see anything that like says or screams out to you musician? Right? It's kind of like how people feel about music executives in a way. There's this stigma that music executives don't understand music and they don't get it and things like that, right? But he can very much have gone to school for music, understand music and how to make it and things like that, and even play an instrument. But because of that, he's able to sit on the computer and then use that same knowledge to create a music video, right? But the other thing I want to show you is that with a lot of the music videos you're going to see, they're going to actually have you try to make the most realistic looking thing. Like, they're not going to have you try to make things that are necessarily going to like be obvious. Like, you see how there's shade and things like that. You can see there's slight blemish and things like that on her cheeks and things like that, just to show like the natural skin look. The microphone looks really real and stuff like that. So all of this stuff is just to make it look believable, right? So like I said, as we get into more and more, I guess you can say, big studios using this stuff, it's going to become a thing that we're going to have to navigate, not only as just music fans, but being able to compete with this stuff as well. So for most people, like I said, getting into this, thinking you can do this seems hard. Don't think it seems hard. Just think you need to create. You just need to just keep doing your thing, but you also have to make sure you understand, that you're using AI and the effects of it in terms of where they're banning it and how they're trying to, place AI content in certain pools of content media and things like that. And, maybe you won't get paid or maybe you will get paid less or something like that. Keep that in mind. But it also should prove to you that you have yet another competitor, which is going to be the computer. And so your skills should just be the main thing you should be focusing on, because no one can really replace the bones and skin and flesh and things like that create the sounds that you make. But we will try to monetize it. So that's where you need to be strategic in how you monetize your skills.
Most tutorials only show you basic lip.
And that's pretty much my point about pointing out that he very much could be a very talented musician sitting in that shot in front of this computer, but his skills of being a musician aren't being valued the same if he were to play an instrument versus getting the AI system to make a video, right? So you got to figure out where your skills are actually going to be valuable and then hone in on it.
Lip sync on top of a plastic and lifeless looking character, but AI can now make music videos that rival $1 million productions. So in this tutorial, you'll learn how to make a hyper-realistic AI artist that actually performs a song with perfect lip sync, singing with real expression and emotion. I'll also show you a new method to generate unlimited camera angles of your AI singer using a single prompt.
There's a storm in the hem of my dress tonight.
So I already have the audio for the song I'm gonna use in the music video.
Your eyes caught mine, then the room went slow.
Now at the end of this tutorial, I'll show you how you can generate a song completely using AI. But right now, let's dive straight into.
So then the song he's using could just be 100% AI, right? And another thing about AI, we've pointed this out before, is that what it does is it just takes pretty much noise and it just kind of shapes all the sound into there, right? So the voice that you're hearing could be an emulation of another artist because it has to figure out what to make that shape into. Like, where do you get the word triangle from if you had not seen a three-sided shape, So the point here is that after he's done this, after he makes this music video, is the credit going to be given towards the artist, being him as the person who kind of engineered all of this? Because mind you, it wouldn't have existed if he didn't create all of it. So generally, yes, he's the creator of all of this, right? But how do you identify who gets credit when the fans are told that he didn't create it? It's just AI music and you're supposed to just kind of enjoy it as you've experienced it, right? It's not like you're going to be seeing like when you buy bread at the grocery store, there's a brand on the bag, right? It's the same bread as the bread next to it and possibly on the shelf below it or above it by like a small difference. But in general, you buy it and it has a brand on there, right? You don't know the guy who packed that loaf of bread, right? You don't know the lady that tied the little tie at the end of it, right? But you necessarily don't care either. So they just kind of get a check. The point that we're going to run into is that this guy here, he could be in a situation, not saying that he wants to do this or it's something that he has done, but he could be in a situation where he can make a loaf of bread that gets so popular and makes so much money that we have to figure out who tied that tie and who made that loaf of bread. Like, it's no longer about the brand on the bag, because the brand on the bag would be the singer in this music video, right? Or the record label that owns the singer. So in that instance, it's not really a problem that the fans are going to have to deal with, but it's more of an issue of like, he would have to deal with in terms of like, okay, now everybody's got to know I'm the guy who's making AI music, or I have to basically place some kind of system or structure to where I'm actually getting my credit and, royalties and dues for the music that I'm making. Because a lot of this is being phased out of the prorater pool. A lot of this is being phased out of being considered quote unquote real music by most people. So this is why it's kind of like a weird situation for me to study, because I'm not trying to make music like this at a high production level. So for him to do this, not him in particular, but someone to be able to do this means that they would try to either make a living doing this, or make a career doing this. And I just don't know how they can conceptualize the outcomes and the benefits of doing so. I just don't understand it yet. So for me, the only thing that I can land on to think of why somebody would do this is because you just mechanically would just want to produce music that could make you money in the back end. And you're not really trying to hide that it's AI, or you're not really trying to, you know, convince people to buy into the artist itself, right? So what I think would probably happen is, for the most part, as things start to die down with the AI music conversation, it's going to be the music that is background music that's going to thrive the most. People in countries that don't have industries of music that are super popular have now a chance to just get on the internet, create an AI version of music, and it can possibly just pop off anywhere because maybe it fits with the culture of an area, or maybe there's a good fan base for this, or they just know how to market in another industry, or to have other skills that help navigate using this music in some way and exploiting it. So that's how I think this is mostly going to work. But like I said, you don't have to be a musician to do that, which is why it's kind of like, whoa, should musicians be responsible for this AI music? Like, I don't know.
How to generate an AI music video for this song. So first, I've generated a prototype image for the singer I'm going to use.
He's got an AI singer. This is easy to do.
The first thing I'm going to do is generate a character sheet for her, which is going to show her from all sorts of different camera angles. And this is going to let me preserve the way that she looks throughout the entire music video as we rotate between different camera angles and movements. The image model I'm going to use is OpenAI's GPT Image 2, and the platform I'm using is called OpenArt. And then in the prompt, I'm going to describe the character reference sheet I want to create. I'm going to put this prompt in the description of the video so you can go and use it for yourself. When I generate the character reference image, I like to create it in 4K resolution so I can get the highest quality AI characters possible. So here's what the character reference sheet looks like. And using the character reference like this, I can put her in a variety of different environments.
So what has changed now is this guy, and it's not any dig at him, but I'm just using him as the example because he is the example right now. But what has changed now is that this guy no longer has to contact modeling agencies, record labels, or things like that, where you would have to meet a person who would then have a conversation with you, and you'd have to sell them on the music video and the concept that it would benefit them in some kind of form of payment or whatever it is you guys would negotiate. And then you guys would have to schedule times to come together to figure out how you can take these reference photos and then film together and then go through the treatment and get on the same page and all that stuff. He has negated all of that simply because the tool exists, right? So it doesn't put her out of a job if this was a real person at all, or any other person. It doesn't put them out of a job. It just moves over to now the person who has the skill to do all of that has the skill and option to do all of that, because let's say you don't want to have an AI system problem later, or maybe you want to actually have some kind of human element to this particularly, right? So that's where people are going to have the cream rises to the crop top situation for most music videos and most careers. That's why it's just interesting for me, because I don't know why you would build a career on things that would do this. Like in this video, he's just showing a tutorial. I could not imagine somebody sitting down thinking this is going to be a career, but it can be if we valued it a certain way. And I just don't think we do right now.
Different costumes while keeping her appearance exactly the same. So for the foundational shots of the music video,
she looks like a reference of like a Latina Lady Gaga. Lady Gagita. Ladita Gagito. La sueña, la guita colatita, something, I don't know.
Create this cool effect of my character stuck inside a glass cage while there are all of these different glass statues.
Like the little AI dancers in the back just look super animated, right? So the computer system doesn't really need to focus on them. So if you were a director, this may or may not look cool. If this was the 90s, this would look amazing. But like if you were a director who knew how to do CGI and things like that, there would probably be some changes you would make. That of which would be appreciated by those who valued that kind of skill.
Choose that dance around her. So I have this reference image of a glass cage, and I'm going to put my character inside of here for the music video. So what I'm going to do is put this reference into my image generator, And I've also putting my character.
Another thing too, he's calling it a character model, right? Because rightfully so, that's what it is. But someone else is going to try to use their own likeness in their music video. So that's what I mean by building a career. If you use your own likeness and then you create this whole intricate, ornate music video, and it actually does garner a lot of views on a platform that pays you money, or you actually are using a song that you want to copyright and actually garner data for, let's say, analytics, royalties, and streams. How do we actually calculate that compared to you actually getting up here and doing all the work yourself, you know?
Reference sheet as well. And then in the prompt, I'm going to combine these two elements together. And this prompt is pretty simple. I just told the AI to put the woman inside of the glass cage. And I've also told the AI to change her clothing to a bright red satin dress. And here is the shot. So this is a good starting point for the music video, but to make this work, I actually need a variety of different camera angles. Some of them can be full body shots showing her dancing to the song, but for other ones, I actually want close-up shots on her face where she's singing all the lyrics to the song. So what I'm going to do is actually use this method called burst mode. And what burst mode lets me do is generate a bunch of different camera angles in rapid succession inside of the same video clip. And what we can do is take all of those keyframes from that burst mode video and use them as the individual shots inside of the complete music video. So to create all of those different camera shots, first you'll need to use the video generation feature inside of OpenArt. And from here, I'm going to use this text with reference feature, which lets me direct the AI video with a lot of control. And then I'm going to use the CDance 2.0 AI video model. And
this is also showing he's really, really smart at what he does. It shows that just knowing the program is enough to get a good enough output for most people to be satisfied, right? I've seen some AI videos. I think they were coming from another country, but like a completely different engine or something like that. But it was like videos of a video game where the video game characters were replaced with a bunch of characters that the person created. And it was moving as if it was just like a player was playing the game. It wasn't like a mod. That's the thing. Like we've seen modded games where, you know, you can replace characters in a game. But what this was an AI generated version of a game completely with the graphics and all that stuff. I think it was like an Elder Scrolls, Dark Souls type of game. And it had all the graphics and all the lights and the sounds and stuff like that, but everything was AI generated. So you didn't have the limitations of, let's say, trying to create the scene with a mod or actually having a computer to sit there and process all of this at the same time. So you can record this in high def, kajillion K definition, right? So what he's showing here, one, is that he's really, really smart in engineering because he's engineering the crap out of this video. Great job, bro. But the other thing is that he's also showing if he doesn't know about music videos, then this would still make him competitive in the world of music video creation because he knows the tool. Like even if you knew how to make a music video in the conventional sense, you still would have him on the table as far as an option because he could at least be of assistance in some sort of way.
And I just need to drag in that shot of my AI singer along with the character sheet that I generated of her. This way I can generate multiple shots of my singer inside this glass cage environment, as well as seeing her from all sorts of different camera angles. And in the prompt, I'm going to say, generate 20 shots in rapid fire inside a music video of the scene of the woman stuck inside the glass cage. She is wearing a bright red satin dress. So a few key parts of this prompt. First of all, I'm tagging the reference images. That way the AI knows what I'm referring to when I'm describing the scene. And in order to tag a reference image, you just type @ and the AI will let you select from the reference images which you've uploaded. So in this case, I want to tag the reference image of image 1, which is going to be the sing of my performer inside the glass cage. And I've also tagged the character reference shot of her to make sure the AI knows what she looks like from all the different camera angles. Beneath that, what I've done is I've included a huge list of different camera angles I want the AI to generate. Now the AI won't be able to generate all of these different camera angles exactly. It's going to make some mistakes, but it'll still be able to give us plenty of different shots to work with. I'm going to put this list of camera shots inside the description as well, but you'll need to make adjustments to it to fit your exact scenes.
And even if you looking at that list of 20 shots right there and you're like, man, that's a lot of work, you can still put that in an AI generator and say, hey, with that reference image he was talking about, generate 20 cinematic shots here that I can use, and then just filter out the ones you don't want to use, and then boom, you don't have to use all that brain energy sitting there trying to think and write and all that stuff like that.
So inside the settings, we have the option of generating it in 4K now, which is going to give us the highest quality shots to work with later on. And I'm only going to leave the duration at 7 seconds. Each of the 20 shots is going to be generated super quickly, which is fine because I'm only going to use them as image references. So right now, the music that she's performing to is complete gibberish. In the next step, I'm actually going to have her lip sync to the song I'm going to make the music video for. But right now, all we're trying to do is get these rapid fire shots of her from all sorts of different camera angles. So now let's download this video that's going to have all the camera angles of our character. Then to extract all the keyframes, I just uploaded that MP4 file into Claude AI. And then I prompted for it to extract 20 keyframes from this video. And then what Claude did for me is it extracted all of the 20 different keyframes from this 7-second video clip. So there's going to be a little bit of repetition inside here. The AI isn't perfect. It won't be able to generate every single camera shot exactly like you want. However, this is going to give us more than enough different camera angles and shots to fill out the entire AI music video.
So it's amazing how you can do all of this stuff, right? And it's really cool. Like I said, but the issue you're gonna have for everybody is who owns this stuff. Like, what are we really doing here when we make this video, right? Like, he's showing us a tutorial, right? He's not making a career out of being a Latin Lady Gaga in a red dress, right? That's not what he's doing. He's showing us an engine because he's really smart at technology, and he probably has a thing for music, maybe, you know, whatever it is, right? But if you see somebody who's like trying to make a career out of this, then it really begs the question, what are you doing, right? Are you trying to be the artist? Are you trying to be an engineer? Are you trying to just make money? What is it, right? Because we see things where we'll see artists get into the game and it's like clearly they're just trying to make money. Their music is not good. They're not practicing, or they just don't invest in themselves. Then on the other hand, you see people who are just making so much music where it's like, okay, we kind of don't see anything growing from this. What is the point, right? So when you start to see like podcasts and stuff like that coming out, that's people trying to not navigate the technology and stuff. But now you're coming to a point that even with the technology that's used to make music, you're battling ownership and credit and things like that. So that's why we have a lot of artists trying to make their own ecosystems and kind of communities and commodify their lifestyles and stuff like that, because you can now find ways to, I guess you can say, attract a customer or a fan to your music in many different ways. But if the music is not a real person, then you lose all of that leverage. So that's really all the leverage you have as an artist. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm gonna let you guys go and grab some lunch today, and make sure you guys join me for the next episode of Musician Talks with DameSmiff. Today we talked about a whole bunch of AI music video treatments and understanding how to make music videos using AI. But I highlighted this to show you guys that this is what's coming down the pipe as far as the major record labels and things like that using AI for music videos. But I will see you guys